What's up guys, it's Blue Coda, and this is going to be a guide showing you how to install Sven Co-Op for Half-Life, so you can play multiplayer co-op with your friends. So in my case, I'd never played the Half-Life series, and neither did some friends of mine. And I'm not as much of a fan of solo campaign style games. I get bored of them really easily. I like to be social and interactive with other people in a game. And we all really wanted to play it together. So after some research, the solution to this is Sven Co-Op. It's basically an add-on that installs on top of Half-Life for Steam. So if you and some friends want to get through the Half-Life series in anticipation of Half-Life 3, this is a great way to do so. It's also a great way to guide someone who hasn't already played it, even though maybe you already have. So firstly, you want to make sure that you have Half-Life downloaded and installed. I've only tested it with the Steam version of Half-Life, which is only $2.49 by the way, but as far as I know, it should work with any version. Then go ahead and download Sven Co-Op. There will be a link below the video with their download page so you can get the latest version, and you can choose any one of the links. Make sure that you get the full install version, which is 720 megabytes right now. It says the torrent is the fastest, but that's kind of a pain, so I would just do a direct download. Nextly, go ahead and open it. It'll start the installer, and you shouldn't have to change anything along the way. Just hit next. Yes. Make sure that the install path is right. If it doesn't say anything about not knowing where Half-Life is, then it should be right. And when it comes to this point, make sure that you check Half-Life storyline support, or install updated co-op support for Half-Life single-player storyline. It should be the default. Just leave that checked. That's how you're going to be able to play with other people through the campaign. And then next, that's going to pop up with a thing, and it'll install. Alright, so now it says it's finished. I'm not going to join the community group. I think I already have. And then you can just go ahead and hit close. So it'll install just like any other game. So if you have Steam, you can go ahead and launch it, and in your library will be a specific entry for Sven Co-Op right down here. And if you want to do the co-op, you have to launch it specifically. You can't just launch Half-Life. So after you make sure it's installed, next comes probably the hardest part. If you want to play the game with other people who aren't on the same network, or as in on the same Wi-Fi or in your house, for you to act as the host or server for the game, you'll have to port forward your computer so that other people can connect to you over the internet. If you already know how to do this, then great, it'll be really easy. Otherwise, I'll include a link to a great guide that'll show you how to do that. All you need to do is select your router's manufacturer and then model number. In my case, this one specifically. Follow the instructions and you're good to go. Like I said, if you're on the same network or in the same house on the same Wi-Fi, you won't have to complete this step. After you've made sure the game is set up, go ahead and launch it. Like I said, it'll create its own Steam shortcut, or you should be able to find it in the start menu based on whatever version of Windows you're using. So we'll go ahead and play it. See how long it takes to launch. Alright, so here we are. It'll specifically say Sven Co-Op. Across the top it won't say Half-Life. That's how you know you're in the right game. To act as a host and to start a new game, go ahead and hit Start New Game. And then for the map, to start at the beginning of the campaign, you'll want to go to the Half-Life op4_sp portal, just like that right there, and then go over to the game tab, and you can rename it to whatever you want. Like I said, if you're in the same house, you can go ahead and check LAN game. What that'll do is it won't send your information to the servers so that other people can't connect to you. Set up your max number of players. You can set a server password so that if you are on the internet, and you can set a password so that no one else can connect, and then difficulty level. None of the stuff down here you should have to mess with. Everything else should be good, and go and hit start, and you'll act as the host, and I'll show you how to connect to a game here in a second. So as I said before, if the people you're playing with aren't on the same network and you've already done the port forwarding, then it may take some time for your server to show up on the master list. We discovered that that was a problem when I was playing with friends of mine. To skip the wait, you or whoever the host is going to be can go to cmyip.com, and that'll show you actually your internet IP address, just like that. And then what all the other people can do who are trying to connect to your game, you can take that or send it to them, or they can somehow get it. You can tell it to them. And then in the game, you want to press the Acento button. It's the one with the little squiggly line up at the top left corner of your keyboard, right below your escape key. What that'll do is it'll bring up a console, and you'll want to, in the console, type connect, and it'll autocomplete, and then space, make sure a space, and then paste that IP address. And that'll connect them directly to your game so that they won't have to worry about searching it in a list or anything like that. And that's really about it. If you want to start the game, just on the very first map, go upstairs to the Half-Life chapters outside the bathroom, through the first door, and then through the first door on the right, and then you can select whatever chapter you want. You will need 2 people to push the buttons to start a chapter. In our case, we were a little further in the game, so we started with chapter 7, and then it'll just load that map, and you can continue with the game. Now, obviously, the game is only designed for 1 player, so it becomes a little bit easier when you're going through the campaign with more than one. And the only couple downsides is that every time you go to a map change, you can see it, and it has to reload the level for everyone in the game. And you also get this stupid message of the day pop-up that comes up every time. I just got used to hitting enter after every map change. And that about rounds it up, so have fun.